Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I want to walk you through my end of the year declutter that I kind of do every year. Of course there's not always the same to do, but there are certain things that I do every year to make sure that I can start the new year fresh. And yeah, let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Leah. I upload videos about minimalism and sustainability, so if you're interested in these topics, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, since I'm a minimalist and since I have been decluttering for over 5 years now, there's not always really that much to declutter. So today I'm just going to take you through the things that are always there, that I always need to declutter. And we will have a few digital things because these tend to be the things that pile up, but also I want to declutter my paper things and I want to organize my files for the next year. So let's get into it. First, we'll start with our email inbox. I think that's a place where all of us have too many emails, just too many messages, too many advertisement messages and things that we actually don't even want to have. So I encourage you to go through these and declutter as much as possible. Now, I don't just delete everything. I of course will delete all of the things that I don't want to, but messages from friends and family or important things for my business or just other, like from my university back when I still was studying, things like that I will organize in folders, but I just don't want to have them in my inbox. But on a day-to-day basis, I usually don't do that just because I don't take the time to really organize these things. So usually the emails pile up, and I think when I started decluttering, I had several hundred messages at least. So I go through all of them and declutter them down until I don't practice inbox zero. So I usually do not have like no messages in my inbox when I'm done, but I try to get it down to one page. My email provider has like several pages once there's too many messages to display them on one page. And so I try to get them down to maybe 10 or less. And usually I keep those emails in my inbox that I still have to reply to, or emails or conversations that are somehow ongoing or that I know I will get back to and answer directly to that email. Yes, so these are the things that are allowed to stay in my email inbox even after I declutter. But I have to say I am so glad I did that because it feels so much better. Nothing can get lost now. I also emptied all of my like spam folder things, and so now a new year can start and new projects can come, and I hope to not overlook messages that are important or that I just need to read and see and go through. So the next thing also related to emails is just also checking what kind of advertisement emails I have been getting recently and unsubscribe from all the services and emails I do not want anymore. Because it does happen to me that I subscribe to services and like websites or blogs or things, and then I later don't want them anymore. A thing that happens a lot is that people give out free ebooks or interesting resources, but you have to subscribe to their newsletter. And I know that's a great marketing strategy. I would do that as well if I had a blog or a website. That totally makes sense. But honestly, if I do not enjoy reading the emails that come weekly or several times a week, after a certain time I will unsubscribe because nobody has any benefits from me receiving emails that I don't want to read. So I found a few of these this time by decluttering, but it wasn't that many because I try to do that whenever something is annoying to me. Whenever I get an email and I think, oh, it's the 5th email of that company and I know I don't want it anymore, then I just unsubscribe. I try to do that like really on the go, but to be honest, it does still pile up as well. So when I'm going through my emails to just empty my inbox, I also go through the subscriptions or try to unsubscribe from anything I don't want to receive anymore. So the third thing is going to be my paper files. So I try to keep as much as possible digital, but I don't know if it's because I live in Germany or if that's the case everywhere. There are companies, there are things that I get sent in paper form, and I really don't like it, but that's just the way it is. So I had a few like legal things that I had to take care of this year, and I also had like changed a few things about my health insurance, and there were just a few things where I got letters, and some I had to respond to. Some just said, please keep and never discard. And usually I just put all of them into my drawer because I never feel like organizing paper files. And the other thing is, it's not that much, like it doesn't take up that much space. So usually I just put them all in my like document folder, which I can make a video about if you're interested in seeing like how I organize all of my documents in that small folder, and try to keep it that way. I hope I'll never have to like add another folder again. So at least once a year. It would be better to do it twice a year for me. I think I go through all of the paper stuff and decide what I can declutter. And so when the new year comes, that's just I think a good time of the year to do it. But of course you can do it anytime, whenever you want. Another good thing for me, or another good time for me, I think, is whenever taxes are due. And that's, I think, in July. So then I can go through my tax things that I kept for taxes and see what I need to keep there. Now, of course, what's very important with this topic is to make sure that you really do keep the things that you have to keep. But oftentimes companies or like authorities tell you to keep something that you actually don't need to keep, or you can scan it and keep it in a digital form. I try to do that with as many things as possible, but of course there are some documents that you have to keep in paper form. So these things I have in my folder, but everything else I really try to digitize, because like that they take up less space. I can find them more easily by just typing in the name or like looking through my documents. It's not that many. And so I try to keep like the weight, the space they take up, and just the number of paper documents as low as possible. Another thing that I really need to declutter more often, and that I take the chance when the new year comes, or like just because I have these few days between the years where Christmas is over and the new year hasn't started. And I mean, 2020 was a lot of days at home, and so that's maybe not the case this year, but I try to take these days to just get ready for the new year. And so I took it as a chance to declutter my phone. On my phone, the things that really do pile up, or that really are there in a huge number, are screenshots and pictures I've taken with my phone camera. Now, usually these are not things I really want to keep, because my camera on my phone is not that great, and screenshots are often directions on how to get somewhere, a recipe I was interested in, something that somebody sent me, or something that I thought was interesting, but then I missed the chance to buy or look at it, or things that don't interest me anymore. So it took like a solid 40 minutes, or I think even longer, to go through all of the things on my phone and just to try to delete as many of them as possible that I did not need. I do keep a few pictures that are still cute, some pictures of my son, some pictures of like nature outside. They're not good quality and I'm not ever gonna print them out, I think, but where I just have some sentimental attachment or just think they are cute, and I don't have a problem with keeping these. They do not take up that much space, so that's not a problem at all. But who wants to have things they don't need? Who wants to have clutter on their phone? So I really try to get rid of that, to, not just open up space, but to make it easier to actually find things if I'm looking for a certain screenshot or a certain like picture on my phone. A thing that I do is I keep screenshots of milestones I reach with my Instagram and YouTube account, just because you cannot see, especially on Instagram, you cannot really see the analytics of when you reached certain milestones, and I think it's just interesting to see how sometimes growth happens faster and then slower, or it even goes down. That's what happened with my Instagram beginning of this year. It was like just a phase of 4 months, I think, where I lost followers and the engagement was really low, and it was really disappointing. But it's interesting to look back at that also in 5 years. So I do keep these screenshots just to monitor how it's going and how it's progressing. And so I think I will take them from my phone, put them onto my computer, and put them in a folder where I keep records and things for my YouTube channel and my Instagram. That said, we will move on to my computer. So on my computer, the main things that I have or that I use is one, the internet, and we talked about the email inbox. That's the place where things pile up for me. And the other thing is I, of course, keep all of my photos and videos for like the raw data of those things to create the YouTube videos, and also just the private photos I take. And I organize them by year. I do organize my YouTube content by year, and as well as my private pictures. And so it's a very good chance at the end of each year to go through all of the pictures again, delete all the ones that are like blurry or just not good, that I have 10 of, and I really don't need 10 of each picture. So I'll delete all of the ones that I don't need, which also saves a lot of space, because while the screenshots on my phone might not be that huge in size, the files on my computer, especially the photos, are huge. And no, not especially the photos, especially the videos. Those are so gigantic that I needed to buy another 4 terabyte hard drive this summer, and I am going to buy another one starting next year, like 1st of January, just to make sure that with taxes, I can tax it in 2021, because that's, gonna save me a lot of money. So I need so much storage space, which is the reason it makes sense to declutter all of my photos and videos as much as possible. But of course, I don't delete things that are still important to me. I also don't delete raw materials like the pictures and the videos. Both are not something like on their own. I both have to take them into either Lightroom or Photoshop or Premiere to like cut it to something, or to like edit the pictures. And so I do keep all of them, because I believe that sometimes I will go back, and that has happened in the past, and I want to like re-edit something. So I'm also keeping the bigger raw files just to make sure that I have everything. And maybe I'm a bit obsessed with that. Maybe it's just because I've been taking photos for so many years. I do keep 2 copies on 2 separate hard drives. And I also save them to a cloud, so that I have like 2 backup versions. I have one hard drive backup that is in my apartment, but if something would happen to my apartment, to my hard drives, then I would still have a copy in the cloud. So that's the way I'm doing it. And the thing that is very important here is also that in the end of the year, I'm just reorganizing everything new. I'm finishing up my 2020 folder, so that everything is just done for 2020, and I open up a new 2021 folder where I will start putting all the data, all the pictures and videos that I make in 2021. And so I reorganized the structure a bit. So I put the 2020 folder to all the other years that have passed, but I have the 2021 folder so that I can access it more quickly. Then of course I will copy all of that to my other hard drive and start the process of backing it up into the cloud. And like that, I am set for the new year. I have all my files and things organized, and it's such a good feeling to just know that I can find everything that I need. There's no clutter anywhere, and that I can start into the new year, start new projects, find everything if I need to go back to something, and just have a good fresh start. Of course, I also wanted to add that it absolutely does not make a difference if you do that on the 1st of January, if you do it in the middle of the year, in October, in March, in whenever you want. It really doesn't make a difference. I just think that a lot of people tend to want to do it around New Year's, and since I do organize my files, especially like pictures and videos, by year, it absolutely makes sense for me to also do it at that time of the year. Also, I happen to have more time usually during the last few days of the year, so that's, for me, it works perfectly to do it then. Also, let me know if you have decluttering rituals or things that you do during the past few days of the year related to minimalism or not, and I would be really happy reading those things in the comments. I hope you liked this video, and if you want to see more videos, I'll link you a video and a playlist right here, and I also hope to see you next time. Bye!